everybody, this is Andrew from the Bad Guitarist Podcast. Today I'm talking about something I thought I would never cover on the channel. We're looking at a Gibson Les Paul. Anybody that watches the channel, listens to the podcast, you would know I'm a big Fender guy. Fender amps, Fender guitars, that's usually been my main thing the entire, almost 20 years or whatever I've been playing. And I think I swore I would never buy a Gibson, was never really interested in them. I had a few Epiphones here and there. But most of the Gibsons I tried, I wasn't happy with, and way above my price range, really. Gibsons are, used, you're looking at $1,000 usually. You might get lucky with a little bit lower than that. Fenders, you could buy brand new Fenders all day long for much cheaper. So for me, this was, not something that was really attainable, really. So the story behind this. I went to Guitar Center not too long ago, and I was planning on going to a local mom and pop shop, but it was a Sunday. And where I live here in Arizona, only place you can go to on a Sunday is Guitar Center. None of the small shops are ever open on Sundays. So went in there hoping to try some of these Fender offsets in the Player 2 series after having recently purchased the Player 2 Telecaster. I ordered that online, and I did a whole video on that where there was a whole lot of issues with the Telecaster right out of the box. I just wanted to try something in person rather than ordering something online this time. Like I said, I prefer the mom and pop shops, but being that it was a Sunday, it was the only day I could really get out and go shopping. I really wanted to try the Player 2 Jazzmaster, Player 2 Jaguar, even the Mustang, any of those. And they didn't have any. And I even was interested in, just not even buying, but checking out the Fender Standard series because there's so much hate for them online. I really wanted to see just what the hype was all about, the negative hype was all about. And unfortunately, they didn't have any of those either. All they had were the Player 2 series Strats and Telecasters as far as Fenders. So I started looking around the store a little bit more and checking out their amp section, and there were no used amps that day. But I was thinking maybe like a used Princeton, or if I could get a new one, a Fender 68 Vibro Champ. Didn't have that either. So I looked around a little bit more, and out of the corner of my eye, I see the Gibson section, and I'm going to go over there and just see, maybe they have like a cool Epiphone hollow body or something. And I walked past this, and it is a Gibson, I almost said Fender, Gibson Tribute. Now, they made these, I believe, just a few years back, 2017, 2018, like that, something like that, all the way up to, I want to say 2021, maybe 2022. Again, I'm not a Gibson guy. I don't know anything about their different models, really. I know it's just like, Fender with the Strats. There's a ton of different Gibson Les Pauls. But what caught my eye on this one, and hopefully the camera picks it up all right, doesn't have like that super glossy finish to it. It's more of that satin finish. And so I pick it up, I plug it into a Fender Deluxe Reverb because that was the closest to what I have here at home. And I fell in love with this thing right away. So yeah, the specs on this thing, I really don't know much about it. I know it's got a mahogany back. I don't know what the top is made out of, but it's got a nice little top to it. Cool sunburst. Satin tobacco burst is the color on this one from what I read online. The standard, 4-knob configuration. Did not have, it looks like this model does not have the poker chip thing, but the case that they gave me a cool Gibson soft case. It did have one in the bag. So I don't know if that's standard that they give those with this model, but they just don't put it on the guitar. But everything I was reading online, this didn't come with it on the guitar. The neck, I guess this is a little bit of a departure from their standard models, is the neck is actually maple. So being a Fender guy, this was actually a more comfortable fit for me than other Gibsons that I've played because it was, felt more familiar. Believe it's their standard C-shaped neck. Again, I don't really know the exact specs. That's not what this video is about. It's about a Fender guy trying Gibsons for the first time. Now I will say, because this is a used model from 2021, the neck is not the neck, but the fretboard is pretty dry. So I will have to, at some point when I change the strings, I'm going to have to oil up the neck, polish the frets again. But the fretboard is super smooth. There's no rough frets anywhere on this thing. It's super smooth all the way up and down. Again, the Tribute series, I guess, was their more affordable at the time. And I believe these are the Gibson 490R and 490T pickups. 480 or 490. I don't know. They're PAF style humbuckers, and I've read a lot of complaints about these online that people don't really care much for these, so they're often swapped out. I think they sound just fine. So you're getting some sound clips. Just kind of jump into it. This isn't going to be a super long video or anything. Just wanted to kind of show this thing off a little bit and show what it can do, and I'm just really surprised with this thing. So let's jump on in. So just right off the bat, that is the bridge pickup. Go up to this middle section. Actually, let's start. We did the bridge. Let's do the neck. So, really dark on that neck pickup, but not bad. It sounds great. I've got everything turned up all the way. Let's go into that middle position. So I'm really digging that. Right now we are running through my newest amp, which is a Fender Bassbreaker 15. Another thing that is getting a lot of hate online from what I've learned. I'm digging the amp so far. It's like a hybrid of a Marshall Bluesbreaker, which is based on a Fender Bassman, but it's like a hybrid of the Bassman and Bluesbreaker. So I'm really digging that one so far as well. I do have the reverb on. We are in the low gain mode. It's a single channel amp, but there are 3 gain stages available. So we're in the low gain. And some reverb. It is a digital hall reverb, so we're going to turn that down, because I've got that reverb blasted all the way up. So I do have the gain cranked up about halfway up on the cleaner setting. We are going to turn it up to medium now. Adjust my levels a little bit so I don't blow everybody. Back to that bridge pickup. So I will say one thing with this guitar that is kind of an adjustment for me that I have to make is the neck, although it is fairly slim towards the first, I'd say 5 to 7 frets, it really gets thicker as you get lower down. So for me, I'm used to those really thin Fender necks, like that Fender Modern C. I really love how those feel. So it's a little bit of an adjustment for me. But the back of the neck being that satin finish, this thing is really smooth. It's not catching my hands, even though it is like a nitro finish on this thing. That's just really nice. I don't know. Don't really have the words to describe it, really. I just really am enjoying this guitar so far. Let's hit it with some higher gain. This amp does have a almost Marshall high gain sound to it, so. Sorry, you're gonna hear a little bit of hiss from the amp as well. Probably have to compensate with the volume. And then back down to our low gain mode, because I'm really not much of a high gain amp guy. I really like super clean amps, edge of breakup tones, and then I get my gain from pedals usually. But right now we're just checking out the amp and the guitar. So the previous owner seemed to really take care of this thing. Don't see any real scratches or blemishes, maybe just a couple along the binding on the edges. Other than that, I don't see a whole lot. Looks like they took care of it. Like I said, the neck's a little bit dry, but this is Arizona, so that's kind of expected. So next time I change strings, I'm going to hit it with some Ernie Ball Mega Slinkies and oil the neck, polish the frets like I usually would. Not much else I could really say as far as the setup on this thing. I am learning that G-string thing that everyone talks about, it's become an internet meme, that the G-string doesn't stay in tune. I'm learning that is real. Never had that problem on a Fender, but this thing, after just some light jamming just now, it's already out of tune. So maybe upgrading the tuners at some point. I don't know if that will really make much of a difference. But I guess I'm a Gibson guy now. I could definitely see myself recording with this thing. I might even change out the pick guard, just take it off, see how that works out for me. I do like the aesthetic of it, though, with the pick guard on there. Pickups just seem just fine to me. I don't have any problem with the sound of those pickups. My Squier Classic Vibe Starcaster, humbuckers on that thing are super dark, and in comparison, I mean, even the bass, the low end on this thing with the neck pickup, sounds just fine. I could see, chords being a little bit dark, maybe power chords, bar chords, but it's really not a problem for me. I think it's a great guitar. I'll show you guys the case real quick too. I'll jump across, and while I'm talking, narrating right now, I'll edit in photos of the case that came with the strap, all the original paperwork. There were even some pics in the case too from the previous owner, so that's cool. All right, everybody, so that is the Gibson Les Paul Tribute in Satin Tobacco Burst. I think I said it right that time. And I just want to show it to you guys, do a quick video before I start using it in different pedal videos, so it'll give me something to swap out between the Les Paul, Stratocaster, Telecaster, so you guys get like a basic idea of how different pedals sound, with the basic standard guitars that most people have. Other than that, if you want to support the channel, we appreciate if you want to like and subscribe, leave us a comment. Any engagement really helps us. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're still planning on doing a giveaway. We do have the weekly show on the channel and wherever you get your podcasts. That's the Bad Guitars podcast. We were doing 2 episodes per week for a while. We've gone back to just 1. Comes out every Sunday afternoon, early morning, whenever we can get it out, really. So just look for those on Sundays. Other than that, got some other videos coming up soon. Got a few more pedals to do. That I have a list of stuff that I'm kind of running behind on. Other than that, just hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time.